the Kids Day in Toronto. They're
going to be so July 8th will not be a night game.
It'll be a day game on ESPN?
Because they got to go to that doubleheader the next day, right?
Yeah.
And I think is it a single admission doubleheader the next day?
I think so, because they had several rainouts in Baltimore.
I'm getting all confused by the schedule this year, where they're splitting the
really
Mets
confusing.
interleague stuff. They're playing 2 games against the Orioles this week. Then they'll have 2 in Baltimore. They had 2 in Toronto. They'll have 2. It's weird. They're switching it up like that. I guess to give both places the benefit.
They don't go to Tampa though. Tampa only comes in.
Is that what it, I guess it makes sense mathematically. It's probably an odd number in that.
Hey, if they were there, I'd be honored. I wouldn't reject that invitation.
You know what a Tampa fan you are, Mark.
Yeah.
But I did hear, speaking of Tampa, they're going to go with the future game. Back when, I'm trying to think of, you were probably not, you were young, very young, Cameron. Early, it was around 99, I guess. Thank you.
She's still here.
They had a thing called the Future Mets or whatever, the Mercury Mets, and they played a game against Tampa, and at the time Tampa Bay, and they wore future space age uniforms.
Is that the game where they give out blue Coke?
I don't
blue Pepsi Blue.
I don't think so. No, it was where the Mercury Mets. If you can look up about the Mercury Mets.
I know about the Mercury Mets.
And I'm trying to think of what year they were pretending to be, because I think that matters. I think they might have been trying to be 2018, which is kind of funny because there are no Mercury Mets in 2018, and we're not wearing those space age colors.
They're raising your mercury levels.
I can't believe the way they're playing is just
against the Orioles.
Imagine if they weren't 11.
The worst team in baseball.
Imagine
the
if
worst
they weren't
team in baseball.
11-1 this year to start off the season. Imagine.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Imagine if they weren't 11-1. They'd be even worse than the Orioles.
Yeah, well, the Orioles worst team in baseball. But with Buck Showalter, I think they had and I was saying, I can't believe Buck Showalter is still employed as the manager of the Orioles. But someone pointed out to me, they are the winningest team over 10 years or something like that. The Orioles are, but they got nothing to show for it. They're like the winningest
the
team.
Braves.
Well, it's like, do you know who the winningest team of the 1980s was? The winningest team from the Yankees. Yankees didn't win a thing, and they lost the World Series in '81. They didn't win a single thing. The winningest pitcher of the '80s was Jack Morris, who can't get into the Hall of Fame, and the winningest team of the '80s was the Yankees, and the Yankees won nothing during that entire
decade. And guess how many Yankees classics from the '80s are ever on Yes Network?
Yeah. Well, if they don't, the Yankees on Yankee classics, they're undefeated. They've never lost.
Right, but there's only one of them they show from the '80s. So you know what that is, right? Dave Rigetti's no-hitter?
Yeah, July 4th, 1983. When I saw Wade Boggs makes the last out, I think. When I saw the one time I was watching Yankee Classics, and it was a game I know the Yankees lost. And I'm like, how are the Yankees playing a loss on Yankee? But there was something significant, like the game ended, or something weird happened in the game. That's how they played it. I'm like, I can't believe they're playing a loss on Yankee Classics, because the Yankees never. Meanwhile, the whole Mets history is predicated on some of their best performances being in losses. Like that's like Mets, same old Mets. Mets losses are kind of like the great catch by
Andy Chavez.
That was a loss.
Chavez, yeah.
I didn't even know what game you're talking about.
But it was a loss.
I didn't even know what game or whatever. But what's the first thing that lost? Good catch.
The funny thing about that game was I was that 06?
06, yes.
06. And I was doing the show, and I'd been feeding my son and put him back to bed or whatever, so I dozed off. For one pitch. One pitch, I dozed off. You know how when you ever fall asleep, just sit on the couch and just doze and wake up like 1 second later? I dozed off for that catch. So I missed that catch. I saw every pitch before and after it. I missed that catch. So to me, that catch never happened. Same thing on my honeymoon, which was just 20 years ago, a couple of weeks ago. On my honeymoon, David Wells pitched his perfect game. Piazza was traded to the Marlins. There was a couple of things that happened during that. Let's see, it was Kerry Wood had his 20 strikeouts. Sinatra died. Eddie Rabbit died. It's like all these things during my honeymoon. And they never happened because I didn't see them. They didn't happen. Jeff Bagwell got injured for the first time in his career. I remember seeing that, though. I found we were on our honeymoon. We were staying at all castles and manor houses and everything. And I said, I just want to stay. And well, actually, no, we were in Waterford, which is very...
Where's that?
In Ireland, Waterford.
Oh, you went there?
Yeah, where they make the. We went all over. We started in Dublin for 5 days, and we went around the whole thing for 2 weeks.
They make good corned beef and cabbage, right?
I didn't have it. That's like going. It's like going to get General Tso's chicken in Beijing. But
that's not actually not that doesn't exist.
No,
there.
it was created in New York, actually. Yeah, General Tso's. The guy who created just died last year, I think, actually. The chef who created
I thought it was General Chow's.
It's the same thing.
Chow, wow.
I'm going away from my story here, but let me tell you a story of that. One time I went into a Chinese takeout place, I don't know, 15 years ago, and I had ordered a sesame chicken, and she brings out General. I said, "Oh no, we get General." So she just goes and gets a thing of sesame seeds, and she pours this same thing, and she pours the sesame seeds over the General Tso's. She's like, same thing, just the seeds. I know. She's like, the same thing, just the seeds. Is what the lady said. I'm like, okay, terrific.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wasn't going to do that, but yes. But so we're over in Waterford, which is it was like staying on the waterfront of almost like Elizabeth, New Jersey. Like, just, when you see when you're going down, you see like the stacks, the smoke stacks and the Carteret. Yeah, not as much. Carteret is really dramatic with the smoke. This is more like on the water, on the other more.
If you're coming from like Staten Island, you can see it like on Staten Island.
You see where all the cars get docked off by the big ships and stuff.
Yeah, the Port of Newark.
Correct. Right. And that's what Waterford was like. And there were no good places to stay at. So finally I saw there was a Jury's Hotel. And Jury's is like, it's like a Hilton or a Marriott. It's an Irish chain. So I said, we'll stay there. And they had an American television channel, and they had the Dodgers were playing the Astros. And also Tin Cup was on too, Kevin Costner. And so I got to watch baseball on my honeymoon. I was so happy, and I got to see Jeff Bagwell, who was my favorite player at the time, get injured for the first time.
And then for those youngsters at home, the Astros were in the NL at one point.
They were, they were. And the Brewers were in the AL. And it wasn't that long ago. And the Angels were the California Angels. Then they became the Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles. Los Angeles Angels of the universe, of the planet.
The Mighty Ducks of Anaheim.
Yes. Which was literally the NHL. There was a time where the NHL was so desperate to be relevant, which actually could have been yesterday, they went and, because there was a very successful film called The Mighty Ducks, they went and made a franchise, and they wanted to have Disney ownership, and that's what they did. And that's the same thing that the Angels were as well. They were Disney ownership, and Disney wanted to put Anaheim on the map because that's where Disney World is. Disneyland is. So that's where the Anaheim part came in. 516-572-7440. 516-572-7440.
You know we didn't get to yet? Terrell Owens.
What did he say or do?
He's not going to the Hall of Fame. He's not going. Declined his invitation to give a speech at the Hall of Fame.
So he'll be inducted, he just won't speak.
No, he's not going.
Well, it's not up to him to be inducted.
He's being inducted, but he's not attending the ceremony.
So in his mind or in someone's advice, they told him, don't do that. Which is rather interesting because he's a great Niners wide receiver, and Dwight Clark, another great, just passed away, and they haven't even had the funeral yet, I don't think. It's like Terrell, and of course I'm asking a tone-deaf person to be sympathetic. Like, Terrell, you could have waited a couple of days before, because the Niners writers and Niners representatives and Niners everything are kind of busy right now, especially with Dwight Clark passing away from Lou Gehrig's disease, actually. So, way to go, Terrell. Good. There you go. And was he the one who just questioned, who did he question? Someone playing today. Didn't he say something about someone who's playing today? Or like a Des Bryant? He had something to say about something, some teammate thing or something he said recently. I don't know what it was. 516-572-7440. You can be the first caller at 516-572-7440. Win a pair of tickets to see the Long Island Ducks take on the Lancaster Barnstormers on Sunday, June 17th. A great Father's Day present. The Long Island Ducks bring you Atlantic League baseball all summer long at Bethpage Ballpark in Central Islip. More information about their schedule, tickets, and more can be found at liducks.com. Call 516-572-7440 to win right now. And you can call 516-572-7440 to talk on the air right here if you want. I don't listen to Francesa, but is he going crazy for the...
No, that's not that. It's just... That's a future photo.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm going to just grab this phone for a second. You guys talk. Be right back.
Are you excited for the World's... not the World's... the Subway Series?
Not really.
Exactly. What's the big thing, you know? They're both done it. It's maybe a few more people come out to Yankee Stadium. I mean, Citi Field. Are you excited for the Subway Series?
I'm excited because I want to see the Mets win a game, but
I mean, does it really matter though?
Who are the pitching matchups? That'll make me excited.
I think Tanaka is going up against DeGrom.
That's a good matchup.
And Jermaine and Matt's. And then the Sunday night game is going to be great. It's Severino versus Syndergaard.
That's a great game.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
That'll be fun. And the weather Sunday night's supposed to be pretty good, so that'll be good. Right. I think the rain on Saturday is supposed to be during the Belmont Stakes, actually, which is a good segue for Mr. Dave from Franklin Square. Hello, Dave.
You know, and you have to salute the Mets. The only time they're going to get a full house is this weekend. And what do? Promotions. You got fireworks. They're giving something else out.
Yeah,
like,
why?
Guys, you don't do that.
Well, they always have Friday's always Free Shirt Friday, which I think is a cool promotion.
Right, but you don't do it when there's people already going to be there.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of but here's the thing: if they are Yankee fans coming on Friday, it's like saying blank you. Here's a Mets shirt.
But you know what the theory could be behind that? Well, you like the one good experience you had now. Maybe you come out to another game.
It's the gateway to the summer. This weekend's the gateway to the summer. That's why you have to do it because that's when you get your crowd. The kids are right now. The kids essentially are checked out from school right now.
A lot going on this weekend. There's the Belmont Stakes. There's the Mets, Yankees.
And as someone from these parts, it's kind of cool that if you wanted to, you could make a day of it on Saturday and go to the Belmont Stakes and then make your way over to Citi Field. It'll be a little bit late, but you can make your way over to Citi Field, and because the race generally goes off about 6:30, 6:35. No, 6. No, hold on.
It's usually 6:40. It's generally around 6:40.
Right. So,
or you can stay home with your feet up on the couch and have a barbecue.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly.
A quick side thing. As far as IHIOB, speculation is it's either going to be burgers or banquet.
Really?
Yeah, because
banquet that could be because those kind of restaurants are very popular.
Chris, I can tell you've been down south, huh?
It's. I can tell you, I've never been to any of those type of restaurants.
I understand.
Grits? Never had grits?
No. Like what do they call what do they call those restaurants that?
Golden Corral.
Golden Corral is like one of them, but there's one up here. It's like something. It's in the Levittown, in the Tri-County. No, Cracker Barrel up here. The one. It's like a buffet, Old Country Buffet.
No. It's called Global Buffet.
Is that what it is now?
Yes.
Yeah. But what's the one by Tri-County Flea Market? It has like a white sign, I don't know.
I thought that was Old Country Buffet.
That's what I thought. Old Country Buffet.
I think so.
Yeah. And Mr. Tristan Hamilton's
they changed the name.
How you guys doing? All right.
Yeah, they shut down. Now it's called Global Buffet.
Because it's not just an old country. It's it's a worldwide buffet.
I don't go down there. I try to avoid going down there to Hempstead Turnpike.
Yeah, a lot of stop and go traffic. 6 lanes of traffic.
Well, it's not stop and go traffic from the cars on the road. It's stop and go traffic because people are stopping you and then letting you go after.
Oh, that guy. Usually that's called the Seaford Oyster Bay Expressway.
Not me. You got to know where they are.
Exactly. If you know where they are, you're
by the
fine.
median, by the park over there.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And I know we have the dean of WHPC Sports, but guys, not you guys personally, but you got to stop talking about steroids in the Hall of Fame. It's boring. It's like talking about Pete.
Did we talk about steroids in the Hall of Fame? We never mentioned it.
Talking trade. I mean, you listen.
We never mentioned.
I drive around all day, and when people start talking about trades, it's the most ridiculous waste of.
Yeah, but that's what that is. That is manna from the heavens for sports talk radio, commercial sports talk radio, not for us, but because people love that. But the best thing is that because all of a sudden some GM's going to hear it. It's like you don't know what's going on with the GMs.
There's nothing else to talk about.
That's what it is. And then I love because you can always tell the people who are making the trades are fans of a particular team. So the deals always are like this. It's always giving up whatever your team needs to give away. So it's like, who's that big Yankee contract? It's Jacoby Ellsbury, right? Let's give away Jacoby Ellsbury and get Justin Verlander. That kind of stuff. No, we'll also throw in, then they'll insert some unwanted guy here.
The ball boy.
Yeah.
Now I'm hearing let's have MLB trade draft picks so that we can talk about more potential trades.
Which would really be the draft pick thing is kind of odd because then you'll really have the big market teams just dominating things if they could do that. If they could trade draft picks.
We fill our heads up with just an incredible amount of garbage. We really do.
I was in my building at work. The Major League Baseball's on the 29th floor and the 29th, 30th, and they had in their elevator bank on the wall big sign, like 6-7 foot, and it's a baseball, and it says amateur draft 2018, and they got on all the walls and everything. It's like. The baseball draft really doesn't resonate like the football draft or the basketball draft or the hockey draft. These guys are so far away. You cannot draft for needs. Like the Mets, I think, took a third baseman. And yes, the Mets need a third baseman right now, but That's not going to be the guy.
Up on catches.
That's not going to be the guy.
The guy who's good now.
Right.
You get the one that's good now. So
yes.
if you have a catcher that's good now, go for a catcher now because by the time
correct
5 years,
which is what the San Francisco Giants are going to do. They're going to take Buster Posey's air. You know,
which they did.
They did. Yeah. So Posey will be playing first base.
A lot of them you can see this summer. They play mostly Brooklyn Cyclones, Staten Island Yankees,
yeah,
Hudson Valley Renegades.
I mean, I always like when you have